Heading across to Horsham District, no footy last weekend, but we did have a good break, and the big fella, he loves these little breaks. The old body gets rested up. He could probably go fortnightly and enjoy it just as much as Big Peter Weir. How are you, Weary?
Yeah, good, thanks, Wayne. And yeah, cold, wet, windy weekend last weekend, so it was great not to have to pull the footy boots on. But yeah, gave everyone across the league a chance to rest up, ready for this last run into finals where we have 5 games on the trot before the final series will kick off.
Oh, it is exciting to get that time off, and I know that the people around the Rainbow District have been watching their crops grow while that couple of weeks between football has happened, and there's been a lot of good weather conditions for everybody. We're going to get to have a chat about the ladies, the big time over at Kalki. Also, we've got to look at some of the netball too to come because of obviously we've read through the previous week's results and covered that. Weary would like me to mention that, though, that he did kick 6 goals in his last outing, just so that everyone hears that when he does return to the fray in a couple of weeks' time. Now, Weary, is that a fact that you may be out of the side for the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, Flowman, I'm off to Ireland tonight. We fly out. My mum's actually Northern Irish, so the first time ever the whole family will be over in Ireland. So, yeah, it'll be a quick 2-week escape. But, yeah, unfortunately, I will miss the next 3 games. But, yeah, I'll make sure I pack the sand shoes and the runners, Flowman, and do a bit of exercise while I'm over there. So I'm ready to join back in with the boys in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, I heard that you were going to try out for a couple of those Irish sides. Round ball, though, how do you think you'd go with that, Big Weary?
Oh, pretty ordinary, I think, Flowman. I think I'll just stick to the sightseeing and maybe visit a few pubs while I'm over there just to test out the beers. But, yeah, I'll definitely be doing my bit to make sure that when I come back I can contribute for the boys. Yeah,
just in moderation, everybody, is what he's just said. And we're looking forward to what will be a very, very interesting discussion when you do get back. We might have to put some pressure on the coach to come out and to give it a go. Or we could get Coxie out of the bakery, because then he'd get a bit of free promotion, wouldn't he, Weary?
Yeah, no, I think Muddy's done a great job for me in the past, Flowman, when he fills in. But, yeah, it'd be interesting to hear the wise words of Scotty Driscoll, who's done a great job as our coach alongside Spider Everett this year. So, yeah, that'll be one to listen out for next week with a bit of a mid-season update from him.
Oh, good stuff. Hey, let's go to these premiership ladders, and you blokes have really shored up that second spot. You're a game clear of Narrabri Quantong, but also about 40%. I think it's very hard to make that up in the final game. So they've got to, in a sense, they've really got to beat you and get at least you to lose 1 or 2 games and then win all of those games, probably 2 more than you, to actually take second spot. So I think Japan Rainbow can hold second spot.
Yeah, we are in a great position there and second on the ladder, Flowman. But, yeah, we've just got to keep winning. Narrabri Quantong have really got their squad together, and they're feeling better about their footy and getting back to some of that form that saw them make a grand final a few years back. So watch them to finish the season strong.
And I did see with this week's games, and we'll get to it a bit later, that Pimpernio and the Canivalee Cougars, we've got a battle of some big super cats, some cougar cats from the border, and the Pimpernio boys. And they are those two sides playing each other, and Nadimak in between. They'll put some pressure on the Swifts as we head home to the finals with that 6th position.
Yeah, there is a bit of a logjam there. I think if you're not winning games, you need to be making sure your margin's close. And if you are winning games, you really need to blow these margins out, Flowman, to get that extra percentage, where I think will be a big factor late in the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the reserve's great. I've got Narrabri Quantong 11 and zip for the season in great form. 10-1 the Harrow Balmoral Kangaroos, a great deal of depth. 9-2 are the Kalki boys. Your fellas down there in 9th spot, just the 2 wins and a draw. I reckon that there's another win in them before the end of the season.
Yeah, it could even be this weekend, Flowman, against Kalki. But, yeah, you look at Narrabri Quantong on the top of the ladder and Harrow up there as well, and that shows what depth they've got at the footy clubs, and that's exactly why their senior teams are pushing for those top 2 spots as well.
Now, this 17s competition, Pimp and I are really good, and your boys found that out last week, or the week before last. Your lads are in 10th spot. I've got a feeling they're a fraction better than 10th spot. I mean, I know they haven't got a bigger list to pick from, and you've got to bring some of the kids out of the 14s to make that number up. But the kids you bring out of the 14s, like Lenny Weir and so forth, are really prepared for that senior level of 17s. So I reckon they're a fraction lower than I would have expected them to be.
Yeah, they've all been in all their games this year, Flowman, and been more than competitive. So they have been probably unlucky not to win a few more games, but look for with their continued development and growth next year to make a quick rise up the ladder.
Now, this is a tough one because you played the very good sides above you like Pimpernel, and it's been tough going for your guys in the 14th. You're 8th, but the Keys are in 6th place. If they could win this game this weekend, you're only about 6% behind Kalkee on percentage. This is a real chance, and we'll talk about that game later, but are your lads steeled up ready to win this game this weekend?
Yeah, I think they are. Nathan Cox has done a great job with them, Flowman. And once again, our juniors are a real positive at the club, and numbers are great, and everyone's enjoying their footy. And not only that, they're developing into great young footballers. So as they push through up into the under-17s and then eventually second reserves or senior football, there's a great group coming through for Jeparat Rainbow, which hasn't necessarily been the case over the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, it's really good. And speaking of the young ones, in the netball, young Nikita Batson, she is an absolute ripping junior in the netball side, and she's going to a high level.
Yeah, Nikisha's done a great job. She's always picked in the rep squads, Flowman, and obviously when she gets her opportunity at that level, she performs really well because she's headed to the state trials next. So in such a competitive sport like netball and only squads of 7 or 10 or 12 picked for these teams, Flowman, that just shows what a great netballer she's become and just really getting recognised for it around the league and now at the next level of state league.
Talking about her, she's played some senior netball, and your senior girls have got a real chance of making the top 6 if they can win this weekend against a highly fancied Kalkee side.
Yeah, Kalkee have been at the top of the table in the netball this season, and I think our girls, will go there. I'm looking forward to the contest. They've got themselves up in a 6th spot on the ladder, so they'll want to keep that. And it should be a great crowd at Kalkee too, Flowman, because they've got their ever-successful Ladies' Day, which gets really well supported by the Jeparat Rainbow community. So if anyone's heading to the footy, I'm sure they could jump on a table, if not still have time to create their own table and have a great day there at Kalkee.
Yeah, good stuff. Talking about what's happening around the clubs, it's really good to have you, Peter, do that for us. Let's have a look at what's happening around the games in senior football this weekend, and Eden Hope Apsley at home will trounce Taylor's Lake. In fact, I reckon they'll throw them in the Eden Hope Lake.
Yeah, I think the Eden Hope boys will be too good there, and they'll keep pushing towards that final series they're aiming at.
Nadimuck have a tough one. I reckon the sheep paddockers come up against the other sheep paddockers from over the hill at Harrow, and I just get a feeling that it might be a tough day for the Nadimuck folk.
Yeah, with such a great start, the Harrow boys have got the luxury now of managing their team going into finals, Flowman, and we might see a little bit of that over the next 5 games with a few of their stars being rested. But in saying that, I'm sure their new coach knows everything about winning finals games, and you need momentum. So watch for Harrow to maybe manage players, but still push through with a strong finish to the season.
The match of the round, it is the battle of the big cats. Pimpernel, the Tigers take on Canaveral, the Cougars at Pimpernel. I just feel the Tigers might be too good to beat the Canaveral lads.
Yeah, I agree. Mini elimination, Flowman, and just Pimpernel at their home ground. I know their supporters get behind their team, and I reckon that'll be the difference in the game. And watch for Pimpernel to keep their season alive and have a close win at home against Canaveral. And
Swifties take on Laharam at North Park. Should be an easy one for the Swifts to swiftly dispose of the Laharam side.
Yeah, as we spoke about earlier, percentage is important, and I think this is Swifty's chance to gain a few points on the ladder in that way.
Other match of the round, Narrajua Quantong play Rapania. This is an absolute beauty. If Rupp can knock over Narrajua, that puts their challenge to the top 2 out of commission. And Rapania, well, they still want to push and get up into that top 2 to show that their last year's premiership won't be their only one.
Yeah, I think they've been asleep at the wheel a little bit this year, Rapania boys, but they'll be keen to still get in that top 6 and ruffle some feathers come finals time, Flowman. And they've got the opportunity to beat Narrajua Quantong again. They did earlier in the season, and if they did, it probably would make it hard for Narrajua to finish in that 2nd spot. But with that on the line and their home ground advantage, I think the Bombers will be too good and have a good win against Rapania at home.
I remember early in the season I said a danger game is always when Jeparat Rainbow plays the Keys and you beat them 18-20 to 6 goals, 6 in the round 2 match. So you're coming up against them again this time in the round 12 fixture at Kalkee. I think you can beat them.
Yeah, I think that game earlier in the season was probably our most consistent 4-quarter effort, Flowman, and as we've spoken about so many times, that's exactly what you need to beat Kalkee. So I know there's been a few changes to the team this week, but it's still a very strong team out there on paper. And I think the main aim in the game will just to play that 4 quarters. Kalkee are going to come at us, they always do. They'll challenge us throughout the game, but if we can steady that challenge like we did earlier in the season and then hit the scoreboard, I think the boys will come away with a hard-fought victory.
Well, I know that you're out of the senior side. I know that that Rock Murphy is back in. He feels like he needs to come back in, I think, because you're heading off to Ireland, just to make up the fact that you're not there, Big Weary. But the Rock of Gibraltar in the twos, can he get them to get excited a bit, these young lads that are playing in reserves, and win this match?
Yeah, I don't think I'll get to 500 games with trips to Ireland mid-year, Flowman, so Rock's probably a little bit disappointed in me, but I think our twos boys are a real chance. Usually Kalkee can give us a bit of a touch-up there, but the squad looks really good this weekend. And as you mentioned, Rock's back out there. And Adam Schultz, the plumber Flowman, who you like to follow, is making a cameo appearance. So watch for him to kick a couple of goals up forward and give the boys a real chance to upset Kalkee.
Yeah, get the plumbing done at the same time over your way. And what about the 17s? They get the second side on the ladder. They had the top side the week before. 2 really difficult weeks.
Yeah, it's tough for the under-17 boys, and I don't think they'll be quite good enough to beat Kalkee. But, the endeavour will be there, but I think the Kalkee boys too good.
All right, come on, you under-14 boys. This is your chance. This is the week. Elimination final time. It's on for the Japara Rainbow Storm. Come on, Lenny Weir. Rise them up and tell us how you're going to do it. Big Peter Weir for the boys.
No, I think, looking across their team sheet, Flowman, there's a great little footy team heading down to Kalkee to play in the under-14s, and I'm with you. I reckon they can upset the Kalkee boys and have a win to kickstart the day for the Japara Rainbow Storm.
Oh, great stuff. Looking forward to seeing that. In fact, on Saturday night, I sit on the couch, usually when there's an AFL game going, and I go straight to see those under-14 boys and whether they've won or not, because I reckon they're going to have a real good season. If they can get to the finals, it'll be just a great joy for everybody in the Storm outfit out your way. We'll catch up next week, Weary. Actually, we'll catch up in a few weeks' time when you're finished on those gentle hills of Ireland.
Thanks very much, Wayne.